Welcome to Wanna Be Clutter-Free, formerly Wanna Be Minimalist, the podcast for busy families who are tired of the chaos, fed up with being overwhelmed, and ready to enjoy life again. Each week, we talk about how to let go of the clutter so that you can focus on the things that actually matter. And it's not just physical clutter. We talk about the mental and emotional stuff too, because if it's holding you back, it's time to ditch it. I share what I've done in my own life to declutter, organize, and calm the chaos, but you won't just hear it from me. There are amazing guests too. It's practical, doable, and simple for those of us that want to be clutter-free. You're listening to the Wanna Be Minimalist Show with Deanna Yates, episode number 71. On today's episode, I'm chatting with Toni-Ann Mayembe, a woman who packs more into a day than most people can fit in a week. If you have ever struggled with time management and getting all the things you want to accomplish checked off your list, then stay tuned because Toni-Ann is walking us through how she consistently rocks successful weeks with her 5-step process on Sundays. Hey there, my wannabe minimalist friend. Welcome back to the show. As always, I'm your host, Deanna Yates, creator of littlegreenbow.com and your resident wannabe minimalist. Today is the goods, people. The show is back open for guests, and this first guest does not disappoint. I love connecting with other women and moms on their journey toward living more intentionally every day, and that's exactly what this episode embraces. Toni-Ann Mayembe is a full-time dentist, a reservist in the Navy, and the blogger and podcaster at Real Happy Mom. She is a wife and a boy mom that understands the struggle of juggling work and home. When she's not working, she enjoys watching WWE and stand-up comedy. I told you she's busy, right? I figure if she can figure out how to run a dentistry practice full-time, serve our country, have a side hustle, be a great wife and mom, and still have time for her passions, well, she can certainly teach us all a thing or two. Plus, she's just a super down-to-earth and amazing woman, and I am thrilled to have her on the show. Toni-Ann shares some really interesting insights, and by implementing the tips and advice she so freely shares today, you are going to be able to improve your life right away. You're in for a good episode today, and when you're finished listening, be sure to head over to littlegreenbow.com/71 to get the show notes for today's episode with links to the free resource Toni-Ann offers you as well. Again, you can find it all at littlegreenbow.com/71. And now let's get to my conversation with Toni-Ann Mayembe. All right, well, I'm so excited. Today with me, I have Toni-Ann from Real Happy Mom. Welcome, Toni-Ann.
Hey, and thank you for having me.
I'm so excited to have you here, and just it's really nice to be able to talk with other women who are also on a journey of living with intention and with families, because I know sometimes we feel we have to do it all. And so one of my favorite ways to start our conversations is just to kind of have you tell me about what led you to living a life with more intention.
Yeah. So it really started back, I think, with my oldest, with the oldest one in particular, when he was a baby. I think a lot of moms, we go through this phase where we are so involved in trying to be like this awesome mom, especially for new moms. We're trying to figure it out, and we're doing all the things that we tend to lose ourselves in the process. And that actually happened to me where I completely was engrossed in being a mother that I just totally lost my identity. And I knew it was bad when one of my colleagues asked me what I like to do for fun. And I was like, I don't know. So that is what kind of sparked me to really get more intentional about things and not just, being a shell of myself. Um, Definitely, I feel for moms who are dealing with the guilt, especially the working moms who have to leave the house. So really for me to deal with that guilt when I have to leave is, being more intentional at home. So that it's not necessarily about quantity, but the quality of time. And so that has really been the thing that has really made me get more intentional. Was one, losing myself, and then two, dealing with the guilt and making sure that I don't have it, totally ruining my day. So, yeah.
Absolutely. Well, tell my listeners a little bit more about you. Let's get some more backstory in there, because as a working mom, I know that is we've got listeners that are all over working from home, stay-at-home moms, working out of the home. So tell us a little bit more about your story.
Yeah, yeah. So Toni-Ann here again. From Real Happy Mom. I am a full-time dentist, a reservist in the Navy. I am a wife, a mom, and I have a love for WWE. And I'm just now starting to like get back into like going to the gym, and I'm starting to feel good about that. I used to be the person that was like anti-gyms. I thought they were the devil. So I'm super excited that now I'm getting pumped about going to the gym and spending more time there because I actually feel so much better. But um, a little bit more about me as far as the journey part. Like I was saying with my oldest, I really lost myself. And a lot of times I feel like as moms, we think that we're these unicorns, like these things that we go through is just unique to us and we're the only ones that have experienced these things. But what I've learned is a lot of the things that I go through all moms go through it. It just looks a little bit differently. And so when I came to learn that I wasn't a unicorn and I wasn't that special with the problems that I was having, I began to look out and get other resources, and in particular for working moms, because there was a lot of really great resources for the stay-at-home mom, but I was looking for ones for the working mom, especially the ones that work outside of the home. And so joined a lot of Facebook groups, met a lot of people, and then I was like, hey, you know what? Like, let me take all the stuff that I learned and put it in one central place so that I can spread the love and help other moms. So that's kind of what got me started with Real Happy Mom, is because I really wanted to make sure that moms know that they can really be true and authentic to who they are. They don't have to be, Betty down the street. They don't have to do what Susie is doing. Like you can be you and still be an awesome mom. And if you don't like doing things, that's totally okay. I think a lot of times we like cringe like when we think about like, oh yeah, I really don't like doing those things with my kids. Like it's okay. Like I'm just giving you permission right now. Like it's okay if you don't like those things. Just be true and authentic to who you are is like my biggest thing and my big message. And yeah, I just really want to help other moms so they don't have to struggle and feel like they were alone like how I was.
Oh, I love that. And I love that you also mentioned one, it's okay to be who you are, and two, you don't have to be everything. And you have permission to like the things you like and not like the things that you don't like. One way we do that in my house is my daughter is her love language is touch. She loves touch. It is not my love language. And so in our home, we have one day a week though that is tickle day. And so she can tickle me. We have a big old tickle fight, and she looks forward to it every week. And it's something that because I know it's concentrated, I know it's on that day, and I know that she loves it so much, I can love it too. Um, so that's one of those things that, yeah, you just kind of find a way that you can honor your children in the things that they love to do, but not necessarily have to, you don't have to enjoy it yourself. And you can find joy even when, because you're living it through them too sometimes. So very cool. Well, so how has becoming a mother then changed how you plan out your days? Because obviously, before you're a mom, you have complete
Mm-hmm.
control over your time and you, your entire schedule and what you're doing. And how old is your oldest? And basically, how did that change your days?
Yeah, the oldest he is 8 and the little one is 5. So I have two boys. So they're at that fun age. The 8-year-old acts like he's 16 sometimes and I like want
Uh,
to in the face
mine's
sometimes, but he's
mine's
good.
8 too. Yeah.
You already know the struggle.
Oh yeah, she's a girl, so it's a little drama.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, God
it's
bless
okay.
you.
Not too bad yet.
Nice, nice. But yeah, as far as planning out the week, things have changed significantly with the kids. Because it's not just me, like you mentioned. So really making sure that I pay attention to not just my schedule and what I have going on, but really looking at the entire family. So what does the hubby got going on? Because he always has something going on that I don't know about. So checking in with him, like what meetings do you have planned? Who are you scheduled to meet up with? Those kind of things. And then for the kids, like looking and seeing like, do they have Wacky Wednesday coming up at school, or is it some special event going on where they need certain attire, or to bring something special to school? Like really paying attention to everything has been like the key to me being the best mom ever according to my son. So scheduling really is a lot more efficient when I focus on the things that actually matter and doing those things that actually matter, instead of trying to do all the things. Because again, like it's okay if you don't like to do certain things with your kids. Like they can still do it. You just don't have to be there. And the other thing too that I was going to tell you is that a lot of times, like kids, like what they really want is not necessarily what you think that they need or want. It's really funny because like one time I asked my son, I'm like, hey, like, what do you want to do at mommy? We got like 20 minutes. Like he literally like wanted me to play a game that took 2 minutes. I was like, really? That's all you want me to do? Like I thought I had to sit there and like do this big, huge song and dance. Like, no, like it's really that simple. So a lot of times you check in with them and ask them, what is it that you want, or what can we do that's fun in whatever time frame that you have. So I always try to incorporate that too, just because with kids they're all a little bit different, but in particular like my two boys, like one is like really clingy to me and the other one, like I said, he's the teenager and it's just like wah, wah, like go away. So really just making sure that I'm filling up both of their cups, and I really try to make sure that that is in the schedule too, because I think a lot of times we think like, oh, it's just going to kind of naturally happen throughout the day and the week. And yeah, sometimes, but sometimes like life is crazy. And so if you have some structure, if you have plans in place, it makes things go a lot better. And then you can live that intentional life that you're looking for.
Oh, that's brilliant. So how do you keep it all organized? Are you a pen and paper kind of gal? Are you a digital gal? Do you have an app that you really like? Or
Yeah.
what is that?
So I just got my next new planner. So this is my Still Classics planner. Love Still planners. This is like my jam right here. I also have this other one, the Dream Planner. It's all right, but my Still planner is the one that I love the most because this one is a 12-week planner. So it's not for the entire year. It's just looking at 12 weeks. And I love that because a lot of times we get like so focused on the big picture, we lose track of things. And a lot of times you can get things done a lot quicker than you think. So I love this planner because it helps me to focus on 3 goals, just 3. I'm not trying to save the world, just 3 goals. And every day I'm being intentional as far as what 3 things I'm going to get done that day. And then there's secondary things. So I have my planner. So I always start off with the paper planner, but I am kind of hybrid. So after I'm done, I'm going to show you in this planner really quick. So I plan out my week in with time blocks. Oops, sorry. I know this is audio only, but just so you can see it. So I block out everything. So you see I have work, I have some real happy mom. That's what that means. Where's my hand? And then recording times. And then you see I have some chill time, Navy time. Like I block everything out based off of my brain dump that I do to see like what I actually need to get done that week. And then from there, once I've kind of planned out like the blocks, I put it into my Google Calendar. And with the Google Calendar, I don't have my phone, but it sends me alerts. So I'm constantly getting alert like, okay, now it's time for you to have that recording. Now it's time for you to make lunch. Now it's time for you to go chill. Like, so I stay on track with what I have planned in the planner, because let's just be real. We always have our phones with us. They're always close by. So that's why I say the hybrid is good, because I can always refer back to it on my phone and then also get those alerts too to keep me on track. So I actually follow through with what I actually planned out.
Yeah, no, I love that approach because we have kind of a command center type thing so we can all see it, but I can see a planner kind of working in that scenario as well. And then, the reminders on the phone are key.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because honestly, if I don't write something down, I have figured out that my brain will just forget it completely. I mean, I did that the other day. I was supposed to order something online by 10 o'clock. And literally from the moment I was upstairs talking to my husband about it, and I got down to my computer, I didn't order it. Oh, well.
Happens all the time.
All the time. I'm like, oh my gosh, what in the world? Like, anyway, got distracted with something else. I think it was also school picture day. So I ended up ordering those instead of the thing I was supposed to order. Whatever. It's okay. So, yes. Write things down because, again, life gets in the way. So,
yes.
Okay. So you were talking about a brain dump. You were talking about then obviously planning out your whole week. What is I know that is one of the things you are passionate about, is being prepared for the week and how it can help you basically just change your life and make everything better, which I am 100% on board with. So why is this so important though? Like, why do you think planning out the week is one of the key things?
I'm Margaret.
And I'm Amy.
And together we host the podcast, What Fresh Hell? Laughing in the Face of Motherhood.
Margaret, I would say you're sort of a where are my keys kind of mom.
Correct. Sometimes a where are my kids kind of mom. Well, you're Amy more of a, we were supposed to leave 35 seconds ago, Mom.
I mean, touche. In each episode of What Fresh Hell, we come at a topic from our usually completely opposite perspectives. I bring the research.
And I bring kind of the gimlet eye. Like, is that research really going to work, people?
And almost 10 million downloads later, we're still laughing.
We also talk to experts in the parenting field, plus parents with stories we can all learn from.
We make each other laugh, we challenge each other's assumptions, and we have what we think is the best parenting community on the internet.
Check out What Fresh Hell, Laughing in the Face of Motherhood, wherever you listen to podcasts.
Yeah. So life is very unpredictable, as we all know. Life is gonna life. You may have plans in place, but things will kind of throw you off. But I truly believe that having a plan and routines in place will make a huge difference as far as you not feeling overwhelmed. And also too, it helps me in particular with decision fatigue. So I am not running out of that decision-making power and then doing one of two things, either making poor choices or not making choices at all. So for me, that Sunday routine is huge. And in that Sunday routine, planning out my week is one of those components. There's 5 key things that I like to do in that Sunday routine, but in particular, planning out the week is the big one, because that's when I get to sit down, kind of have a big picture overview of what's going on. Like I said, I'm looking at everyone's calendar. I'm looking at my brain dump, my to-do list, seeing what I need to get done, and then actually prioritizing things that are going to actually move the needle in my life, whether it be with Real Happy Mom, with the Navy, with my relationships, because let's just be real, like there's a lot of things that we could be doing and will make us feel like we're busy and we're getting things done, but it's really not doing anything. So really just making sure that you're prioritizing the things that are actually going to really make a difference is the key for me. But really quick, just want to tell you about the Sunday routine before we move on, because this one is good. So it's 5 key things, like I said. So planning out the week is one of them. Planning out or getting your clothes ready for the week is another big one. Even if you work at home, I think it's really helpful to have your clothes ready, to planning out your meals, just simply writing down, Monday through Sunday, what are we eating for dinner, just so that you know what's in the pantry and in the refrigerator, so that you can create something, even if you're tired and you don't even have any energy, like, you can make some rice and chicken because it's in the fridge. And then 3, cleaning out your purse, because let's just be real, there's things that get in there that you're like, how did that get there? Even though we're all minimalists and we're trying to do better, things get collected inside the purse, or even if you don't carry a purse, the diaper bag, the backpack, whatever you carry on a regular basis. And then lastly, just restarting and rebooting your devices, because let me tell you, the worst thing that can happen right now is my computer decides it wants to do an update in the middle of us talking, or it starts running slow because there's so many programs running in the background. So rebooting those devices will help save your life from frustration, because your devices are acting crazy. So those are the 5 key things. But like I said, the planning the week is a huge one.
I love that 5th one because you never think about it.
No.
I never think about it. That's brilliant. Oh my gosh, I'm going to have to add that into my routine for sure, because you're right. Our devices need to recharge just like we do. Everything always works better once you unplug it and restart it, human beings included.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, that's so brilliant. Okay, so there were 5 things. So are those the main 5 things then that you plan out each week?
Yeah, so those are the 5 things, that I make sure are ready and good to go on Sunday, so that the week I'm ready.
Okay.
Yeah, I know that a lot of times we talk about like morning and evening routines, but really I feel like if you do these kind of core things, it really sets you up so you don't have to do as much during the week.
Brilliant. So how long do you think your Sunday routine takes you?
Yeah. So I've gotten very efficient with it. So 30 minutes tops for me is how long it takes, because I know boom, 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 I got my clothes ready. Boom, 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 I got my meals. Planning out the week, that's the part that I'm not going to lie to you, that takes me the longest, just because I really want to be really methodical about how I'm planning things out. And because there's so many moving parts. Because another thing really quick is that when I am doing my brain dumps, I like to do them in compartments. So I do have like all these mini hats that I'm wearing, but the only way I keep these hats from not looking too crazy on my head is by making sure that I'm brain dumping in those compartments. So I know what I need to do for the Navy. I know what I need to do for Real Happy Mom. I know what I need to do for work, family, kids, home, all those different parts of my life. But yeah, that is definitely key.
Yeah, I was going to say, you've got a lot going on. I mean, you have a lot of moving parts. I mean, I think my life's busy, but goodness gracious, you've got more parts moving than I do. That is for sure. So gosh, okay, this is fabulous. So how long did it take you to figure that out? Like, what was the moment that you had that was like, okay, like Sundays, that's my day.
Yeah. Yeah. So I remember having a conversation with one of the ladies at work, and they were just talking about how much they hated Mondays. And I was like, Monday's my favorite day of the week. What you talking about? Like, I love it. And I'll be honest with you, the number one reason why Monday is my favorite day of the week is because Monday Night Raw comes on. For all of my people who are into WWE, you understand. But other than that, like, I'm ready for the week. And that's because like I have taken that time to prepare. And I noticed the days that I'm most excited about Monday is when I have really taken time to like get ready for the week. So it really took me like falling on my face like a lot. And I actually did this experiment on myself. I was like, okay, I started like kind of tweaking the Sunday routine, and I was like, okay, this week I'm gonna do all the things, because I actually had like 11 steps at one point, and I've condensed it down to the top 5. So I had 11, and I was like, okay, this week I'm gonna do it. And the next week I'm not gonna do it at all. Let me tell you, when I did not do it at all, I hated my life. It was not fun. So it really just took me experimenting and some trial and error, but also like seeing like how much easier my life was, because I finally got to a point I was like, my life has to be better than this. Like, I can't be constantly overwhelmed and chaotic and not knowing what is going on in my life. So that really was kind of the trigger. And then, like I said, experimenting and figuring it out as I went along.
Oh my gosh, I love that. I love that you tried it on yourself. I love that you said, okay, and you were really methodical about it. You said, I'm going to do it all this week. I'm going to go 100% all out. And the next week I'm going to do nothing, which I think probably had to be pretty hard.
Oh yes, it was. It was terrible. Like, my clothes were a mess. Like, my house was a wreck. It was bad, 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 bad.
Yeah, but like even that Sunday, not even planning, knowing that it sounds like you are a planning kind of person, to put that block up for yourself, knowing like, okay, this is going to be a cruddy week, but I just got to see what it's like. So,
Mhm.
oh my gosh, that's awesome. I'm proud of you for doing that. And then, yeah, being able to like say, no, this is it. Like, now
Yeah.
I know what it is. And then that you've refined it over time is also, I think, really important.
Yeah, yeah, because you can get caught up in trying to do all the things, but I'm really about being simple. That's why I'm with you on the minimalist. We're just trying to cut things down and do things that really matter. And again, like I said, are going to move the needle and really make a difference. So
Yeah,
yeah, definitely had to cut it down.
absolutely. And I do think that like those 5 key things that you talked about, I do think are very important. So again, that's kind of let's recap them one more time, because I
Yeah.
think I'm probably missing one of them. So we've got the planning out the clothes, planning out the
Hmm.
meals,
Yep.
cleaning out the purse,
Yep.
unplugging your devices, turning them off, restarting them, and then
Mhm.
writing down your schedule. Do I have
Yep.
all 5?
Planning
Oh
out the
my
week.
gosh, I did it.
Yep.
Look, see,
Yes.
guys, we can do this. But even so, like, I don't generally run out as much. So like the purse may not be as big a deal for
Hmm.
me, but what I think that's cool is it can be adapted. But we do actually do that, because when we come home, the thing that we have come in and out of our home is our daughter's backpack, right? So even taking that advice and bringing it down to your children's level so that they can be prepared for the week as well. Because every time we come home, she puts her backpack on the hook, we take the lunch out so I can clean out the lunchbox. We take out the homework folder, she does her homework, we put it all back in, so it's still that same process, but now it's teaching our children and getting them prepared for a better life as well, which I think is super important.
Yeah, yeah. And I'm totally about modeling behaviors with my kids, because one thing I have learned in my short time of being a mom is like kids actually watch what you do and actually will copy what you're doing versus what you're telling them to do. So they see me a lot with the planning things out and getting things ready. So even now they're starting to get it, even though my oldest, God help him, he does not clean up, but we're working on it. But I think it's really good to set that example for sure.
Oh my gosh, absolutely. Oh gosh. And then, right, yes, the modeling, because yes, there was the other day, my daughter takes my tone 100%. So I got to make sure that I try to have good days more than bad days, because she said something the other day and I just looked at my husband and I said, oh, because she's 100% me. So he doesn't really get it. I go, have you like that moment, just like, and you're just super embarrassed, like the worst parts of you just come staring back at you, like right in the mirror, and you're like, oh, great, okay, yeah, okay, thanks. I'm gonna go.
Yes, you're
I'll
not
go
alone.
work on that one.
Totally been there.
So motherhood, but I love it. I
Yes.
would never change it. Oh my gosh, I feel so lucky to have her in my life. That is for sure. So now, one other thing I know you talked about when it was your 11 things, because I did read up on that, is that self-care is really important. And I want to talk about self-care because I do think sometimes we as mothers can blow this out of proportion, and we can think it should be this big thing and it's a spa day, or it's, I don't have time for it, because we think it's bigger than it necessarily has to be. So for you, what are some of your favorite self-care ideas? And then how can we squeeze this in? Because of course we're all so busy, and you obviously have, because you're very busy.
Yeah. No, this is a good one. I really like this. I'm actually pulling something up here for you because I talked about self-care a lot because I really struggle with that. But now I've gotten to the point where it's so routine that I don't think about it as much. But I'll tell you this. The first thing is um, I think we need to take more cues from men and our husbands and partners because they don't talk about self-care as much as we do because they just do it. And that's one thing I've had to like watch my husband and like see, like, he doesn't ask me like, like, oh no, like I'm tired, I think I should take a nap. He takes a nap. He's tired, he takes a nap. If he's hungry, he goes and eats. If he, is stressed out, he goes and takes a walk. He doesn't like talk about it like, oh, I need to take better care of myself. He just does it. And I think that is hard for us as moms in particular because we don't have that innately in us. Like we're such nurturers, like it's harder for us. But for the moms that are struggling with self-care, let me talk to those moms really quick because I've been there. Is definitely wanting to take things and just looking at it from the real like basic levels, because I feel like a lot of times, like you said, we think like, oh, it has to be like something, really big and extravagant, and we have to do the manicures and all those other things. But really what I like to look at is Maslow's hierarchy of needs. And if you're not familiar with that, it is a really nice pyramid. And at the bottom is physiological needs. Then you have safety needs. On top of that is love and belonging. Then you have esteem. Then at the top of the pyramid is self-actualization. And if you're like, Toni, and that sounds really cool, but what does that all mean? So at the bottom, when we talk about those basic physiological needs, those are food, water, warmth, rest, those kind of things. Then that next level is like safety and security. But I think a lot of times as moms, we like totally skip over that bottom part, that like foundational part that we need to make sure that we are taken care of, which is the food, water, warmth, and rest. Like we're not eating the proper foods, we're not getting the rest that we need. We're just taking care of everyone else. So really just making sure that you like do a little check-in with yourself and say like, okay, what do I need today? Or what is one thing that I could do for myself that will make me feel better, will make me feel more energized, will make me feel more successful? Like asking yourself those questions. I feel like the answers are all within us, but we just have to take time to tap in, because what I need to do for self-care is going to look totally different for you. And then for those who are listening, but really tapping in and seeing what do I need right now. So this morning I went to the gym. Again, I told you I used to hate the gym, but now I'm actually liking it because all the endorphins are making me feel wonderful. So I knew that, like, even my husband was like, you just went to the gym yesterday. Yep. And I'm going again. Like, I need to feel good because I need to keep my stress in check. Because really quick, I know this is a little off topic, but I need to bring this up too, is that I was getting really frustrated with myself about going to the gym because I was working out so hard, but I was actually gaining weight. And I was getting frustrated because my husband even told me, he was like, yeah, like, don't take this the wrong way, but I know you've been working out more, but you actually look bigger, not smaller. And I'm like, burr, hold up, brother. But he was right. Because when I went on the scale, I actually was like, I think like 5 or 7 pounds heavier. So I talked to my fitness coach because I use the app Noom, which is amazing, by the way. If you're looking for something to help with your health journey, Noom is amazing. So I texted my fitness coach and I was like, hey, like, I'm so stressed out, I'm not losing weight, I'm gaining weight. This is a mess. Like, I don't know what to do. I'm so frustrated. He was like, a good job that you're working out and good job that you're eating better. But a lot of times we forget that our health is more holistic and there's a bigger picture that we need to look at. And we forget that we need to manage our stress. We forget that we need to have good sleep. We forget that it was one other thing that he said, and I can't remember right now, but it was three things. And those three things are all the three things I need to do better with. So really self-care is making sure that you're taking care of yourself in a holistic way so that you are showing up and being that amazing person. And really, moms, if you're listening, please, please, please do it for me. If you can't do it for yourself right now, go and take that walk, drink that water, whatever you need to do so that you can continue to show up and be an awesome mom.
Oh, so good. And it's true, right? Like it is so much easier sometimes to take care of other people than it is to take care of yourself. Sometimes you do need to do that inward reflective look just to make sure that we're keeping on track. And it can be hard work. And so I can see why sometimes we push off because we don't really want to look in the mirror sometimes. But absolutely. And the easy things, like you said, take care of those physical needs because it is amazing. I am a person that gets really hangry. And so if I don't eat, my husband is like, you need a snack. Like there will be times we will be out and about, like, we're just out on a Saturday. We're supposed to be doing something fun. We like to paddleboard. And so it's amazing that if I don't have a snack on that darn board, oh my gosh, my whole day can go downhill just because I'm like, my blood sugar must be low. It's so funny. But yeah, those kinds of things. We got to keep, we bring snacks for our babies. We got to bring snacks for ourselves too. And yeah, just check in. And then on a larger picture, obviously those are very distinct moments when I'm angry, but like on a larger picture, yes, taking that time to breathe, relax, take a walk, take some time for yourself. And it doesn't have to be, like you said, this big thing. It could just be a 5-minute meditation sometimes, just to kind of see what is really speaking to you.
Yeah. And real quick, you talked about being hangry. My husband always teases me all the time talking about, do you need a Snickers? Because I'm always acting crazy on him. So I totally am with you. I get it. You are not alone. But yeah, definitely just like how you take care of your kids. I always say, like, think about like how you take care of your little baby. Like, what do you do to make your baby happy? That's the same thing you need to do for yourself to make you happy. So yes.
Oh, absolutely. So good. Okay, so we've talked a little bit about it. I think we hinted about it, but one question I wanted to ask you is, what would you say to that mama right now that just feels so tired? She's overwhelmed and just everything is kind of just feels like too much. What would you say to her? Where should she start?
Yeah. So first thing I would say, I know this is probably going to sound like, what? First thing I would say, you need a brain dump. Brain dump everything you need to do. Get it off of your head onto paper. I'm really a pen and paper girl when it comes to this kind of thing. I know, yeah, you can pick up your phone, but let's just be real. Those notifications are going to go off. You're going to end up on Instagram or Facebook and be on a rabbit hole. And like me, be on Cardi B's page. And you're like, how did I get here? So let us put the phone down and get a piece of paper and literally just take 5 minutes, put a timer on, write down everything you need to do. Get it off of your head. Because I think a lot of times we get overwhelmed because we feel the pressure coming from so many different places. So if we can begin to see everything on the paper, then we can start to move things around so that we can make it work for us and remove some of that pressure off of ourselves so that we won't feel so overwhelmed. But if it's more so like with the parenting and the and other things like that may not have to do with, your week in general, I would definitely say to check in, like I was saying before, because I think a lot of times, like, moms will say like, oh no, I need to work on my temper because I'm always going off on my kid and all that. Like, I need help with my temper. No, boo. What you need is some self-care. You need to take care of yourself, because a lot of the times when we're acting out or not acting within our normal personality, it's because it's something that we need that's not being met and we're not taking care of ourselves. So 2 things: brain dump, get everything out so that you can begin to see that you can tackle things, that you don't have to be overwhelmed. And then 2, like, checking in with yourself and seeing what you really need.
Yes. All things. Yes. So good. So another question I'd like to ask is, if you were starting your journey over again today, right? Like this whole journey, because obviously as we go through life, myself included, I mean, so many stumbling blocks and so many things that I would probably do over if I could. What would be the first thing that you would do though, if you were starting again from square one? that would help the
Yes.
most?
Yeah, I would trust myself more because I think a lot of times we think that we should rely on the experts or people who have been through things or have more experience than us. But I truly believe we have a lot of the answers that we need for life inside of us. Like we know what to do, whether it be with our children, our relationships, with our business, whatever it is. Like we have a lot of those answers. So I really would do better about trusting myself, um, and not, pushing my instincts down and be like, no, let me listen to what mommy told me to do. Like, or, oh, my friend told me to do it this way. I would really like hone into that and really follow my gut.
Yeah. Yeah. I said this to my husband the other day. So many times we feel like other people have it together, right? And it's just because you can't hear the voices in their head. Like you think that all these other people know what they're doing, and no one does. Like that's the thing. Like, okay, yes, I can offer you some advice, but it's based on what has happened in my life. And my life might be different than your life. Um, I'm here for support and, encouragement and accountability if people need that. But at the same time, yes, we need to be able to trust ourselves and know that we're all just learning as we go. And yeah, yeah.
I totally agree with you because those people that you admire, I promise you, they probably don't know what they're doing sometimes.
Everybody's got that inner voice that is saying that they're not good enough. They don't know what they're doing, that they're, that they shouldn't be doing this. I mean, no matter who they are, everybody does.
Yeah,
So,
definitely.
yeah, absolutely. We're all worth it and we all can do it and we're all stronger than we think we are. So,
Definitely.
absolutely. That's a great one. Okay, so I have really enjoyed this conversation, and I know my listeners have gotten so much valuable information from you. So they're going to want to look you up, Toni-Ann. So where can they find you?
Yes, yes. If you go over to wherever you're listening to this podcast, go to the search bar and type in Real Happy Mom. You can find me there. And then if you want more resources, go over to realhappymom.com on social, Real Happy Mom, trying to keep this really simple for you. But for the people that are listening right now, for the moms listening right now, I have something very special for you. If you go over to realhappymom.com/minimalist, there I'll have something special for you as well as an offer that will help you out when it comes to that Sunday routine. So definitely go there because I have something special for you. So that's realhappymom.com/minimalist. So
okay, and we'll make sure we link that in the show notes as well. realhappymom.com/minimalist.
yes.
So that will be there. And Toni-Ann will have something amazing for you, I know. So absolutely. And like she said, if that wasn't clear, she has a podcast too, guys. So check out her podcast, Real Happy Mom. All the same, real easy. She makes it really easy for you. So definitely check her out. Okay. And then my 3 rapid fire questions that I love to end my interviews with are: number 1, what has been your favorite simple pleasure this week?
Simple pleasure. So remember I told you I hated the gym and I'm becoming a gym rat. So my assistant told me about this exercise. It's 12-3-30. So you get on the treadmill, you put the incline at 12. You put the speed at 3 miles per hour and you do it for 30 minutes. I promise you, you'll feel amazing, burn a ton of calories, and yeah, you'll thank me later.
All right. 12-3-30. Okay.
Yes.
Sounds great. Very cool. Number 2, what is the best advice about life that you have ever received? Oh my gosh, this is a big one.
Yes. Keep going. That's the big one. Keep going.
Good. And then what is making you happy right now or in this season of your life?
What? Oh, WWE is making me so happy. Sunday is Extreme Rules, and I'm like so pumped up about it. So yes.
Oh, it's so cute. I love when people have their passions. Oh my gosh. It is not a world that I understand, but I love that you are passionate about it.
I know. It's so funny because everyone always tell me, they're like, you're not the demographic they're trying to reach. I'm like, I get it. I know that.
Who cares? Oh, that's so great. Well, Toni-Ann, this has been fantastic. And I love connecting with other moms. I love being able to just learn from others that are on a journey. And you have some really fabulous information. And honestly, yes, that planning out your week really does make such a difference. And I love the brain dump idea. I'm probably going to spend a little time doing one today myself, just to make sure that I generally have a running to-do list, which I consider my brain dump, but it's always good to sit down and just kind of work through those wheels again and make sure there's nothing that I'm forgetting. Obviously, this week I did forget to order something, so it wasn't on my list. So that absolutely needs to happen. So,
well, Toni-Ann, thank you so much. And you guys be sure to check out Real Happy Mom.
All right, we'll see you next time, Toni-Ann.
Oh my goodness. Thank you again to Toni-Ann for the tips and suggestions today. My favorite was her advice about rebooting our devices each week, and I've already implemented her advice on this one. Over the weekend, not only did I restart my computer and phone, I actually finally upgraded my computer to a new operating system. I updated my apps on my computer and my phone, and I cleaned up a bunch of junk that was slowing it down. It feels great, and honestly, it kind of feels like I got a new computer. So I'm super excited to add this upkeep to my weekly schedule as well, so that my computer will continue running super fast and just make my week so much better. And don't forget that you can get the show notes for today's episode, along with that free guide that Toni-Ann mentioned, on my website at littlegreenbow.com/71. Again, that's littlegreenbow.com/71. Thanks again to Toni-Ann for being a guest on the Wannabe Minimalist Show. I love her perspective and think we can all learn a lot from her advice for planning and prepping on Sundays for a more successful week. That just about wraps it up for today's episode, but before I go, I just want to take a minute to thank you for listening to this podcast. I know that your time is limited, and it means the world to me that you choose to spend some of it with me. And if you enjoyed today's episode and have not done so already, go ahead and subscribe to be notified of new episodes wherever you prefer to listen to podcasts. I'm excited about the lineup of guests that I'll have on the show over the next few months. And I'd like to encourage you to leave a review so more people can find us and discover the benefits of a minimalist, intentional, and simplified lifestyle for themselves and their families. All right, that takes care of our show for this week. Best of luck as you implement these tips for a better week. Next week, I'll be giving you an update on my kitchen organization and talk about how you can overcome feeling overwhelmed. You don't want to miss it. See you next week. Cheers.